Hi there. It's Raleigh Brown here with another curve flattening concert. Charlie the dog is quietly snoozing at my feet after a little shaky stuff at the beginning. And I say hello to Rhonda Scott Merrick and Stephen DeHaas and Slim Edelman, and Ann Mintz is here. Folks are starting to check in. And I will clink you. I have coffee. Here's to you all. And Warren and Janelle are here, and Deb Leby Clark and Kathy Craw up there in Canada. Bunny Barnes is listening at the doctor's office with earphones. So that seems to be the order of the day these days. A lot of people at doctor's offices. Johnson Hogg is here. Hey, Johnson, over there in France. And Charlie Bryant in the People's Republic of Montgomery County, Maryland. And Margot Lemieux, my good pal up there in Massachusetts. So we'll get going with a little bit of music here. Lots of stuff to talk about and do today. This is my day to play music from the 70s, and that doesn't mean the big hits of the 70s with Creedence Clearwater and stuff like that. It means the music that influenced me strongly, or that I was developing as a musician in the 70s, which was my second decade of playing the guitar. Ron Russo's here. Good to see you, Ron. Connie Adams, Kathy Marzick, and Howard Hobbs, and S.A. Tudhope, and Steve Davidson, and Helene Tober Fowler. And one of the people I was really listening to at the starting of the 70s, hi Terry St. James, was Dave Van Ronk. And I'm not sure if he's the first person I ever heard do this song. It might have been Gusty, who was the great blues and folk singer from Cleveland, and or it might have just been Van Ronk first. Maybe I heard Billie Holiday do it. I don't know. Anyhow, Van Ronk is the one that stuck with me. Hi, Carol Sherman. And so mine steals a couple little things from his. Now them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. So the Bible says, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. Now the rich get rich while the weak ones fade. Empty pockets, they don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. You know you got money, you got lots of friends hanging round your door. But when money's gone and spending ends, they don't come no more. Now rich relations may give you crusts of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own. You got money, you've got lots of friends hanging around your door. But when money's gone, spending ends, they don't come no more. Now rich relations may give you crusts of bread and such. You can help yourself, but don't you take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have. God bless the child. God bless the child who's got his own. That's the note I was looking for to end on. Mr. Alex Bevan, hey buddy. And Chris Layden is here, and Dave Radcliffe, and Carol Pred. Good to see all you guys. So, and something I can hardly read, Anuda Sturi. Not sure what that is, but thank you for tuning in. Okay, we don't want any dead air here. So next up, I'm going to have another little drink of coffee to get me through this next one. So around 1970, the beginning of the 70s, I was sitting in the student union at Kent State instead of going to classes. And I hatched this idea that I would try to, Chet Atkins had recorded this thing where he played, what was it? He played Dixie and Camptown Races or something like that at the same time. And he'd worked it out so they were both going on like almost like a round. And I said, I'd like to do something like that, but I don't want to do that one. And so I thought, well, I'm going to take Sweet Georgia Brown, and I'm going to figure out how to play it with a walking bass line in it. And I sat down with a piece of paper and, tablature paper, and I wrote out the notes of the melody, and then I wrote out the walking bass line. And then I tried to play them together, and they kind of, it was all just pink, 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 pink. And I worked it out, and I got that so it worked. And then I wrote in all the syncopation, so there were offbeats in it and stuff. And then I had this arrangement. And then of course, I didn't want to just do that. So I had to do a regular version of it too, most of which I've now forgotten. But I can still get through the walking bass part. But we'll see how the whole thing goes here. So that's the kind of crazy shit I used to try to do when I was young. So let me see who else is here. So that's Sweet Georgia Brown. Ken Nashif is here. And Gene Galligan. Hey, Gene. And on we go. See if I'm missing anybody here. So I will tell you some announcements now. As usual, Michael Tierson is here. I think I said hi to you, Michael. As usual, there is a link right there for PayPal and Venmo. And as usual, I'm sure we have some invisibles here, and those would be Kate Mack and Linda Worster and Kit Serikaku and maybe Judith Fox and Joel Biget and Mario Prue, who built this guitar. Pardon me. And Bill Rubenstein, who is featured in the next song. And Mike Stillman. Did I say that? Mike Stillman, Joel Biget, Bill Rubenstein, and Mario Prue. That's all of them. Those are all the invisibles who I know. There might be others who I miss, and I say hi to you too. And then we have the scheduling. I'm on today, Cozy Sheridan and Charlie Koch tomorrow morning at 10:30 Eastern Time. And try not to miss that. That's always a great show. And I will be back on Wednesday at 3. And then Alex, if you're still here, you're doing Thursday this week, right? Because you didn't do it last week. You said you were going to, but you took off and went somewhere else. Jim Greco's here. Hey, Jim. And so anyhow, but me today, Cozy tomorrow, me Wednesday, probably Alex on Thursday, and then on Wednesday we'll talk about who shows up later in the week or whatever. So I'm going to do a little bit of retuning here. And this, in the mid 70s, I was living in San Francisco. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my little magic tuner. Come on, magic tuner. Do your thing here. I'm not sure this magic tuner is really doing its shit, so we'll turn off the magic tuner and we'll use the even more magic tuner. That's good. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there. So, and during part of that time in San Francisco, I was working as a parking lot attendant. And I worked the late shift in North Beach as low man on the totem pole. That was when I was a Teamster. Who knew? And before I moved to San Francisco, I lived on Cape Cod for a year and had a lot of good friends who were still there and people who were still in the East Coast. And Alex says, nope, out of town, sorry, I will make it up sometime. It's okay, Alex, you don't owe us a thing. And Tom Maynard is here. Yeah, Tom, I wish I could have been at those Sam W. gatherings. I did watch the concert online. So I wrote this song. I was kind of missing my East Coast friends, and this is what came out of it. Give my hello to Skinny Bob, to Billy and all my friends. Hey, I might get back to Cape Cod if winter ever ends. If winter ever ends. This graveyard shift in North Beach sure throws a chill in me. Standing here in my blue collar, as blue as I can be. As blue as I can be. I always answer when I'm asked. Hey, I'm living for today. But you know my mind's been on my past. continent away, a continent away. So say hello to Skinny Bob, to Billy and all my friends. Hey, I might get back to Cape Cod if winter ever ends. If winter ever ends. The North Beach Blues. I got a whole life to look back on and kind of remember stuff about. It's getting interestinger and interestinger. So in 1970, after, first of all, I wanted to say David Arthur Radcliffe asked, is this the Peanuts story? And no, the Peanuts story was at that parking lot. Charles Schulz used to come in, and his family, his kids used to come down for the show. But that's another story. So in 1970, after Kent State blew up, a couple friends and I got in an old Mustang and drove up to Toronto, where my brother lived, and went to the Mariposa Folk Festival. It was the first time I went to Mariposa, and I went for several years after. And we got there the first day. It was a Friday afternoon, and there was hardly anyone there yet because it was just opening up, and it was still a weekday. People were working and stuff. So we got in there, and there was like eight or 10, a little group of 8 or 10 people sitting in the grass. There was a guy, really kind of nondescript looking guy, in an era where many of us had really long hair. He had kind of a standard haircut and wearing like a khaki shirt or Madras. It was like, I remember it as a Madras shirt. It might have just been a T-shirt. Anyhow, he was there, and then there's this big, tall, gangly guy in glasses sitting there with him. And they were singing some songs, and I sat down to listen and realized after a few minutes that it was the nondescript-looking guy was Jerry Jeff Walker. And the gangly guy, of course, was David Bromberg. And that was the first time I ever met David, and I never really got to know him till decades later. And I never got to know Jerry Jeff Walker, but I sure knew a lot of songs he did. And I'm going to finish up today with a real favorite of his, a favorite of mine of his. And it's not his song. He didn't write this one. But as I was out last night a-riding the graveyard shift, midnight till dawn. The moon was as light as a reading light for a letter from an old friend back home. He said, now, why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You've been getting nowhere, and you're losing your share. You must have gone crazy out there. said last week I run on to Jenny. She's married and has a good life. Boy, you sure miss the track when you never come back. She's a perfect professional's wife. And she said, now, why does he ride for his money? Why does he rope for short pay? He's been getting nowhere, and he's losing his share. He must have gone crazy out there. They've never seen the northern lights. They've never seen the hawk on the wing. Never seen spring hit the great divide. And they never heard old Camp Cookie sing. Yodelay, yodelay, yodelay. I finished up writing my letter, tore off the stamp for Black Jim. And when Billy came down to relieve me, he just looked at my letter and grinned. He said, now son, why do you ride for your money? Why do you rope for short pay? You've been getting nowhere, and you're losing your share. You must have gone crazy out there. You've been getting nowhere, and you're losing your share. You must have gone crazy out there. I see lots of interesting long note from Kathy Marzik there, which I do not have time to read. But I will go back and read them all once the concert's over, and the concert is just about over. So I want to thank you, as always, for joining me. Charlie's tucked in where I can't get a camera on him, I don't think. Maybe if I go to here and then kind of turn this, I might be able to get, he's down, there he is. You can see part of him anyhow. So, as always, I thank you for joining me. We will weather these storms. It's hard times. I've had a bunch of friends in and out of hospital in this last week. Enjoy every precious moment of your day, of your life. Be happy and be healthy and be brave and be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. If you get cranky, take a nap. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Between now and then, you can watch Cozy and Charlie. Bye-bye. Not this Charlie, the other Charlie, another Charlie.